As an Australian, when I think of a holiday in Indonesia, Seminyak is generally what comes to mind.
Come on.
Doesn't back down.
Now, I'm all for a loose lads trip. In fact, I love them. But if that's the sort of thing you're after, this trip's probably not going to be for you. This time I was looking for something a bit more authentic. I prefer travelling off the beaten track, meeting the real people that make this place special. Royal Enfield sent me a note asking to come on a trip with a group of 9 riders, a couple of local guides and a camera crew. The next few days were filled with moto adventures, epic cultural experiences, a track day and about 500 fist bumps, punctuated by a few nights out, too many bintangs and more than my share of sampoinas, also affectionately known as Bali darts. So I touched down in Bali, met our crew in Seminyak. We had riders from Korea, Australia, local Indo guides, Malaysia, Thailand and India. Over the next few days, these guys have become close mates and our ride family. In the morning, we grabbed our bikes from the local Enfield dealership and began our ride. The dealer team gave us a huge welcome and vibes were high, ready for the day.
Also Zach from Australia. Welcome to Royal Enfield store.
Thank you.
And next from India, invite. We are going to invite the beautiful. And next, but not least, of course, from Thailand, V and also I. Welcome.
First day, I jumped on my Himalayan 450, the first chance that I'd had to ride this bike. We weaved our way through a bit of that infamous Bali traffic and headed out of the city, stopping at the GWK monument for a tour.
And I'm throwing the coin at the front and you can make this.
We're back on the bikes for a quick trip to Sababay Winery. Nothing like a few rosés with the boys in 38-degree Bali heat. From there, we then rode a quick trip north to meet our ferry to Gili for the night. For some reason, everyone seemed a little bit faster after the winery. Let's put it down to a bit of team bonding and confidence. Once we landed on the island, team bonding was on. We had a few drinks on the beach, some impromptu singing from Oi from Thailand, and a local milkshake that took us into the night. As the night wore on and the cameras got tucked away, I filmed a few snippets at a Halloween party with Travis and Eddie, our guide, and I rediscovered my love for sand corners, the infamous Bali dart. Early start to get on a dive boat for the morning. Outside bikes, I really love diving, so a boat day was just what I needed to cure that mild hangover. Water was warm, visibility was epic, and the dive spots we hit was super nice. Couldn't ask for a better day out on the water. The good weather didn't last very long though. Pretty much as soon as we got to Lombok, we got hit with a huge storm. The wet weather gear went on, we jumped on the bikes and we had to head down the coastal roads, working our way through on monsoon. We were winding our way towards our mountain hotel for the night.
Well, that was a wet one. Put my Moto anorak through its paces. I think it did the job pretty well considering we rode through a fucking monsoon just then. It was insane. I hope the camera picked up a bit of footage. There's a few soggy boys getting around at the moment, that's for sure. Trying to grab some food, see if I can swindle my way into a bintang. What do you think, Izzy? Not bad.
Luckily for the crew, the weather cleared up a bit as we were hitting the mountain twisties for the afternoon. We could pick up the pace and have a little bit more fun. I do have to say, apart from these village roads where there's a bit of roadworks going on, the streets in Lombok and the road quality is pretty incredible. Something I definitely didn't realise that we would get on an island remote as Lombok. We had super nice roads, perfect road surface and nice cambered corners winding all the way up the mountain along the coast and to our hotel for the night. So because we can get into the bikes a bit more with the confidence that the nice road surface gave us, everyone was having a good time. You'll notice here that Travis was enjoying the good weather with his pipes out. His arms got pretty roasted. This hotel was all time, super quiet spot at the base of a mountain with some really great views. We posted up here for the afternoon. We enjoyed the really nice sunset.
That was fun, dude. I didn't got a lot of pent up energy.
The scenes that you're looking at right now are while I was having a nice sleep in. Everyone else got up early and headed out for a hike in the morning. It looks pretty good on camera, but Day 3, I swapped bikes with my new mate Padin from Malaysia, so he could have a run on my Enfield 450 and I could take the classic 350 out for a run. More of Lombok's epic roads on that fun little Enfield. I do love a small CC bike. Stopped in here for some road snacks, grabbed a drink in a bag, and stocked up on my beloved Bali darts. The kids in this shop were really giving me hell about my Australian accent, and it only got worse when I started trying to talk to them in Indonesian as well. They wouldn't stop laughing at me.
Ooh, it's good. Yeah. Dua, tiga. My man, thank you.
We had a quick stop at a cultural village, checking out the mud huts and a few rice fields from the top of the hill that they got. These are all the local farmers sort of make their living. Pretty wild when you think that we're so close to the fray of Seminyak and Bali. But yeah, it was a cool stop. We weren't here for very long before we headed to the beach, so out of the mountains on towards the beach for our lunchtime swing spot.
How about it? It's good. Beautiful. That's really all I got to say. It's a mad rice field. As far as rice fields goes, this is probably one of the better ones, yeah.
You might be able to tell here that I got a little bit excited on the gravel roads. I hadn't been off-roader in a long time and I wasn't going to let the classic 350 hold me back. Watching this video back makes me definitely think I need to go get a dirt bike again. The 350 was fun and all, but it ran out of suspension pretty quick.
Click the adventure button.
As we were making our way through some of these little small towns, we came across this street festival. There would have been 1,000 people standing out on the highway blocking the main road of the island. Super loud drums, everyone was in traditional clothing. It was super fun to see. They were all waving at us and having a bit of a good time. I don't know what the festival was for, but I definitely wanted to jump into the fray. So the military waved us through here. They were all sort of like smiling at us, checking our bikes out and whatnot. And then at the very end of this festival, you'll see this huge speaker stack that was like blasting music. Very, very soothing music. These Bali locals are so friendly. It sort of like brightens your day every time you see them. They have a huge smile. They come up and say hello to you. Something like this really makes trips special for me. I enjoy it the most when you sort of get to mix with the locals and see a bit of their culture. Boys having a little rip on the scooter. These guys were absolute maniacs on the road, doing literally whatever they want. Road rules, what road rules? Our last leg for the day took us to the Pullman Hotel in Mandalika, right next door to the GP track. There's more amazing roads, a super nice sunset ride, and then a couple of drinks by the pool before we headed out for the night. The Korean girls love a good beer, and the local guides love a bit of karaoke into a beer bottle. I convinced the boys to take me out after we'd finished up at the bar for some fried catfish and duck before we headed home, 3 up on the scooter. A bit of local street food never goes astray. Day 4 was our track day in Mandalika. The GP track was built in 2019 and today we get to send 30 Royal Enfields around the track, probably for some of the slowest laps ever. I was riding the shotgun 650, I traded my mate Trav for it and he was up on the Himalayan for the day. And after watching the Porsches on track and a quick safety briefing that was mostly about having fun and looking after each other, we were given the green light and heading out on the track for a few hot laps. the smiles all around on the track. We sort of split off, and once the slower riders fell to the back, a few of us up front grouped up with our mates to have a bit of fun through these corners. It's weird having so much room on a corner where you could just sort of do whatever you want. The shotgun 650 that I was on was super low, but I wasn't complaining as I dragged pegs around every single corner. You can sort of see me there trying to shift with my hand down straight, giving the limiter a decent workout through these corners. That's Jumin and Danny, the Malaysian racer, just zoomed past me here. My new mate Danny from Malaysia and I had to cap the day off with a ceremonial smoking of the track. While I was here to experience Indo culture, I sort of had to share a little bit of an Australian culture with these guys too. The military band that did the opening ceremony for this track day was out of control. So much swagger, and they were super laid back, way better than any of the Western military bands I'd ever seen. Once we left the track, we headed for another traditional village, see some more drumming and get to know a few of the locals there. We had drumming, stick fights, and another warm welcome from the village. It's super nice to see how simple these guys live and how happy they all are around this small village where they literally know everybody.
Keep you nice and warm, you know, because it's not warm enough.
Some of my best moments on this trip came from interactions with local food vendors and kids from around these villages, trying the fruits or their tea. Well, there was this guy out the front of the village who was trying to sell me massage oil and natural Viagra made from deers.
From a deer. Is this tea?
Yeah.
Can I have tea and ice?
Yes. Ada beli atas kek.
Ya, broccoli. Pade.
Anjay.
Winner?
What you want to drink?
No.
Thank you.
Come, you say anjay.
Enjoy.
This is our last ride before we departed home, saying goodbye to our Royal Enfields one last time. Gave me a bit of time to reflect on an epic trip that was, having a last group dinner with the team before everyone parted ways and headed back home.
So after this, we want to use the bike again. So we got the last day of our event. Thank you so much for that.
Maybe I was a bit out of touch with the idea I had of Indonesia after my first visit. I left feeling like maybe I didn't really want to go back. But this last week, experiencing Indo on a motorcycle, proven I was completely wrong. This place is full of rich culture, incredible food, and experiences you just wouldn't really find anywhere else. What you need when traveling in a place is close contact with local people as much as possible to see what makes this place tick. A place like Indonesia is made special by the warm and inviting people that live here. Sharing their culture, their food, and their way of life is what I really carry with me from trips like this. I'm already planning my next adventure, and you probably should too. Go have a beer with a local, eat duck at 1 AM, and try a green pancake. Most importantly, do it on a bike.